Havade everybody, and welcome back to the show. Debbie Ellen is in studio right now, and she is the chief documentarian. Can I call you that, Debbie? I know
Sure,
you're a lifelong
that's fine.
educator, yeah, but you're working on a documentary project which seeks to involve people on what? It's a very interesting project.
Okay. What we're doing is we're trying to get input from people about their thoughts related to education on Guam. So it might be in terms of what do they think education really is? Is it the same as school, or could it be something else, and what might it look like? We're looking at questions such as how do you think it would be best to address the needs of kids that might have hearing issues or other language kind of issues, whether it's second language, English is a second language kind of issues, because there's like 50% of the student population are said to be ESL, or English language learners, and so we want to know, like, what do the people think about how the needs of these students are being met, because you look at test scores and it seems that they're not quite where we would want them to be. Not that you can only look at test scores, but just to get an idea of what the people on Guam would have to say in conversations about the education. And I don't think anything's like, it's not been done before. So it would be good, I think, to put that together into a video then that we could take back to the community for more discussion, to keep talking about it.
I was going to say, especially in the format of video, because, I've heard of these types of projects being, popped up, or, like they get federal grants, over the years, people get, research money to do these kind of things, but typically it's in the form of a study or a published paper or some academic work and everything like that. But you're actually trying to produce a film, like you said, that can then be shown to the community and kind of like reductively, hey, this is what's going on with our public education system, and maybe by that merit be so much more effective.
Well, I would hope so. I had done a study previously involving people on education on Guam and their thoughts, in particular like about the curriculum that we're using, if it's relevant to our children's lives, our cultures, the languages and things like that. So that was a study. But based on that study, from the findings and the recommendations, it was do more, find out more in the community. But if you do it as a study, then it kind of puts it in a different kind of heading. And we wanted to make this something of Guam, from Guam, for the people of Guam, just based in the community itself.
It's a little bit more digestible, I guess, by, by the layman out there if it's presented as a film as opposed to, here's a white paper, it's like yay thick, and like go ahead and like it's all been properly cited and everything like that as a formal work and everything, as opposed to a movie you can sit back and watch and like it just makes you think at the end of the day, I would assume.
Well, and hopefully it would bring about more conversation. So say if you had a video and then you took it into a community meeting and you showed at least part of it and then asked more thoughts, well, what do you think, what would your suggestions be, and things like that. So we're hoping to get people involved in terms of educational leaders, community members from all different factions or factors, ethnicities and things like that, trying to get their input about what's been working, what hasn't, what would you suggest. It's kind of based on the idea of a really awesome video that was put out, Schooling the World. I don't know if you've heard of that or not.
I've heard of it. I've not seen it myself, but I know which one you're speaking of.
And that one is based more in northern India and the Tibetan community, but it shows the impact of Western society, their education systems in other indigenous communities, particularly those that were maybe colonized at some point, and how it kind of supplants or takes over the idea of what should be taught, what does it mean to learn. So it went from being more that you're learning from your parents or your elders or within the community when you're ready to learn certain things, to being, you need to be doing this at this time of your life, and this at this age, and this and this and this. And we're going to document it, and we're going to test you to see if you have that or not at that time. And if you don't, then you failed somehow, So that movie goes, or that video goes into that. So the idea was, well, why don't we have something like that on Guam? So hence, we would like to put this out.
Okay.
So the idea would be that we would try to go into communities, maybe invite people to come to either community center or something that's a venue that's in that community, and just say come in and invite people in. We'll be providing American Sign Language would be having translators in terms of if people need it for other languages so they can speak more comfortably about the issues.
Okay, fascinating material. We got to go to commercial break, but how can people contact you if they would like to contribute or participate and everything? Because you'll have no shortage of feedback, I would assume, if you're telling people you want their opinions on education on Guam.
Right. Well, Education on Guam is the name of a Facebook that we've just set up, so that would be one way that they could contact us.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Very apropos.
Yeah.
Okay, so so Facebook would be the primary mechanism through which people contact
Facebook,
you.
or they could contact me through email.
And how would they do that?
dlleducation@gmail.com.
Very nice. Well, Debbie, thank you so much,
Yeah,
and we look
thank
forward
you.
to hearing
Thank
how
you
this
for
comes
this
along.
opportunity. Yeah,
All
thank
right.
you very much.
Please stay tuned, everybody. We are back.